There we go. What's up? Welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 119.
Let's
Woo!
go.
Yes, we're bringing you that Monday energy live. If you're joining us live, join us over in the live chat. If you're watching later, awesome. Comment down below. Quick introductions. Hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
We are going to be talking some anime news and announcements. And then we're going to talk about Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, give you recommendations of other things you should be checking out, and a lot more. So stick around for all that. Real quick, looking over at the live chat, you guys are going to make me hungry. Heck says, I'm making chicken nuggets, but I'm here. I like it.
Chicken nugget.
And Untitled says, I'm making fish and rice. I love it. Then says, almost the same hat, chicken nuggets and rice. I love this conversation. Fish is the chicken of the sea.
Oh my God, is it chicken or is it fish?
I love it.
Now,
yes.
did you guys bring enough to share?
I know, right? Rude.
It's like, are you going to share with the class? Are you? No.
Delicious and we're getting ahead on our Delicious in Dungeon thoughts of like food and sharing with everybody.
Indeed, except yes. Delicious in Dungeon was like 80% trauma by volume this episode.
Yes.
I kind of love it. So once again, we have Shot Chaser, but not the way you would expect it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So now let's get into some things we are excited about.
We have so much to get excited about, you guys, and there's only going to be more excitement as we build up to Anime Expo the first weekend of July. Holy cow, that's a month from now. That's too soon. It's also not soon enough.
That is just like, a month now.
Just perfectly cut screams right there. Yep. But before we get into July, we do have June events to talk about, to do, all of those fun things. Starting with, we talked a little bit about how One Piece has a very, very full coming week in June, and we have a little more information now. From Toei, the official One Piece English YouTube channel, and the One Piece activation on Exosphere at Sphere Las Vegas to take place June 10th through 16th. So, Toei is unveiling a new official One Piece English YouTube channel, so you will be able to watch One Piece in English on YouTube officially. You don't need to yo-ho the yo-ho. You can actually watch it legally. One Piece activation on the Exosphere, the exterior of the sphere in Las Vegas, to take place June 10th through 16th with a takeover on June 11th. So, to clarify, this is happening on the outside of the sphere on the Vegas Strip. There's no indoor event. It's just on the outside of it. So, yes. Legendary anime studio Toei Animation is planning to soft launch a new global One Piece English YouTube channel. The channel will be home to English-speaking fans around the world and their source for official news, information, and special video content about One Piece. So I got ahead of myself. It's the extra features on the YouTube channel. Fans can subscribe to the official One Piece English language YouTube channel starting in June. The new YouTube channel soft launch is timed with the start of a week-long One Piece activation on the Exosphere, the exterior of Sphere in Las Vegas, which takes place June 10th through 16th for fans to enjoy. It will be the largest ever One Piece display with the venue, the largest spherical structure in the world. The activation consists of a 90-second long anime created especially for the Exosphere. The week-long One Piece residency includes a 4-hour-long takeover on Tuesday, June 11th, between 7 and 11 p.m., during which time the One Piece activation will be featured. So, also keep in mind, Vegas has a One Piece cafe as well. So, if you want to just have a week full of One Piece, head to Las Vegas June 10th through 16th and just have a party. And then if you want all the One Piece special features in English, those will be on that English language YouTube channel, launching soon. So yes, keep an eye out for that. Holy cow, One Piece fans, y'all eating well.
Mm-hmm. And I think I think it was on their, it's that thing of, did people post as a regular thing or is it just on their stories? But
it's so hard to find sometimes.
You post it on your...
so transient.
Because Irving Lambert, who's come on our show before, posted about it. It looks like he went to the Vegas thing, but I'm not sure if it's a regular thing on his profile. But either way, go check out his profile. And he posted something.
Regardless. And then, yeah, keep an eye out for the official English YouTube channel. And that is for, again, official news, information, and special video content. So it is the
Yes.
special features. Continue to watch Crunchyroll. Continue to watch One Piece on your licensed streaming services.
And then I was looking back over the chat. We got Giga Derek says just got back from Hot Pot and made sangria. Howdy. Nice.
Oh, I'm jealous.
And yes, there's enough for the class. Love it.
Yes! Send it to me.
John Knight says, hello, ladies. I finally finished Belle the movie. It's amazing. On Blu-ray, and it was a beautiful movie. The animation was amazing, and the dub voice actors did an amazing job on this movie. Awesome. So glad you were able to see that film. If any of you watching have not seen Belle yet, go watch it. It's visually stunning. The music is great. The story is going to make you feel things, and it's just overall excellent film. Yes. Next bit of news. So we get from High Dive, rom-com drama 2.5 Dimensional Seduction debuts this summer on High Dive. And maybe a connection to Anime Expo? Yes, yes. It is premiering at Anime Expo on July 4th. So here's the notes to take down for yourself. I like it late night. So they're doing a premiere on Thursday, July 4th at 9 to 9:50 p.m.
Dang.
And that is in 403 AB. And again, this is that thing of double check the schedule. But as of right now, 9 p.m. at 403 AB. Generally, those are the correct information, but make sure to follow High Dive on social media because if there's any changes, they will let you know about it. And so I'm just looking over. I have my screen over here, so I'm like, let me try to read it. So they will stream exclusively this summer on High Dive, the popular anime streaming. This is the service, and then okay, there we go. Celebrating the world of cosplay, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction is not simply a rom-com; it's also a serious teen drama about passionate teenagers and their endeavors overcoming both their worries and dilemmas to become the best cosplayers they can possibly be, which is such a fun fitting during Anime Expo. I'm like, yes! Oh my gosh, that's going to be so exciting. So they're going to host the premiere of the first episode, July 4th, Anime Expo. Mark your calendars for that. And watching anime in the first episodes at Anime Expo is so much fun. It's one of my favorites too. I mean, obviously the preview trailers for things is great too, but when you get like the full episode, it feels, and you're like, I've already seen it.
It's again, we talk about anime in theaters, but this is also anime with a crowd. It's a very good time. And it's it is so much easier to hit the later premieres than it is like the 10 a.m. ones.
Yes. Oh, and that's so nice of like end of your day. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, and 403 AB is a pretty good room.
Mm-hmm. All right, next bit of news.
Oh yeah, speaking of anime in theaters, Studio Ghibli Fest 2024 continues with The Secret World of Arrietty and When Marnie Was There. So if you have not seen either of these, or if you would love to see them again on the big screen, absolutely come. Let's see, I have the dates in just a moment. Both films will be shown in both original Japanese and English dubbed version. In addition to the full feature, screenings will include a special look behind the scenes at Studio Ghibli Park in Nagoya, Japan. You know, things that are on the bucket list. Tickets are at ghiblifest.com or fathomevents.com. If you want to see Secret World of Arrietty, it is Sunday, June 9th at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. in the dub, and Tuesday, June 11th at 7 p.m. in the sub. And When Marnie Was There is on Monday, June 10th at 7 p.m. for the dub, and Wednesday, June 12th at 7 p.m. for the sub. So if you wanted to catch both movies in both languages, that's just 4 nights, one right after another in the theater. Which sounds like a good week, let's be real.
Right? Yes. And anime.
So, once again, that is ghiblifest.com or fathomevents.com if you want to grab tickets. You might also be able to grab tickets through your local theater's app or website. Like my local theater is in local theater's in AMC, and they have almost everything listed in the app if you scroll far enough or if you use the search function. So if you're an app kind of person, they may also be available there too. Make sure to check.
I was gonna say I do like seeing movies during the week because it's like I saw a movie on a school night is what it feels like long past school, but it's still like on a work night. I'm like, oh my gosh, we saw a movie on school night and it's still really fun.
It really does feel like, and you were out till 10? Like,
Yeah.
well, yes.
Yes, I went to the movies.
To be fair,
right.
I do still have some nights of the week where it's like, no, I really do have to get up super early tomorrow.
It depends. It's like one day a week, maybe, or it depends what movie you're going to see. Or you're like, this is why it has to be a 7 o'clock show, you know. All right.
Yup.
Speaking of more movies in theaters, all right. GKIDS News is bringing another 4K restoration back for us. It's Mamoru Oshii's, and it's the classic Angel's Egg. And so this will be the 40th anniversary, and it's the first ever North American nationwide release. So that's pretty exciting.
Dang.
And
Movies that are older than I am.
and I was like, what? That's crazy.
It's like, I haven't heard of this classic. Oh, it predates me.
Yes.
Oh,
and
all right. Let's go.
Get ready. So it looks like it'll be for next year, which I'm like, we're halfway through the year. Ah!
Yeah. We are one Bon Jovi through the year.
Yeah.
We are halfway there.
So yeah, GKIDS is proud to present all new 4K restoration of the film, and it has been supervised by the director, which that's also awesome. I do love that they are still involved with that, or that they have have the original team involved. So this will be the first nationwide for the first time next year. Trying to see if there's anything else more specific on date. Not yet, but make sure to follow GKIDS on social media. That's just the letter G, Kids, on social media for more information. Be up to date on that. Something I realized we didn't share. I'm like, where'd it go? Boom. Make sure to follow us on NTATNB on Twitter, because then we will also share links or images of the different like press releases that we talk about. And then, if there are also just shout out of, if there's other things we should check out, this is also where you should reach out to us as well. Mm-hmm. All right. More news.
Speaking of things that we are going to be sharing on our Twitter, Blue Lock releases second TV series teaser visual with video. So we have a frankly amazing looking poster that we will post on the Twitter because this is fun. And second season introduces 2 new characters with the updated cast information now available on the official Blue Lock website. So if you are watching Blue Lock, if you are a fan, and if you are super excited for season 2, we have the visual, we have, I believe that's it. Yes, we have the visual, we have the video, and we have what looks like might be brief character bios on the official Blue Lock website. So head over there. I'm trying to find if they've listed the official Blue Lock website. It is bluelock-pr.com. So yeah, that is bluelock-pr, or if you're on Twitter, bluelock_PR. And check out all the fun new content they have for Blue Lock. Welcome back to season 2.
And continuing on the Blue Lock excitement, Blue Lock the movie, episode Nagi. The film is going to be coming to North American theaters on June 28th. So end of this month, not that far away. They just released an English sub trailer, which we will link that on our Twitter. And we're trying to see anything else here. So action-packed sports anime, and it's coming to theater at the end of the month. And English subtitle trailer we got for you. And distributed by Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures Entertainment. And that's like, yay, for if you're a fan of Blue Lock, it's like, yes, please give me more. And
that good movie budget, you guys.
Yes. I like this. Here we go. Here's the little tagline. A prodigy can only be shaped when someone discovers him. Now, striker Nagi's incredible talent and persona will set the soccer world ablaze. I like it.
Yeah. Blue Lock is a soccer anime, but to my understanding, it is very different from your usual sports anime. So if you're interested in sports anime, but you maybe want something with a slightly different flavor and what looks like some pretty dang great sakuga, maybe give Blue Lock a try. especially since you've got a second season and a movie coming down the line. So you will not have to wait too long for new content after you finish season 1. And
Yes.
speaking of having a movie coming down the line, the Haikyuu movie is out in theaters, you guys. Uh, Crunchyroll is serving up some serious game today. I love this subject line so much. Releasing a sneak peek into Haikyuu the Dumpster Battle, now playing in theaters across North America. So they do have a sneak peek up and available, so check Crunchyroll's socials for that. And of course, the Haikyuu movie, Haikyuu Dumpster Battle, it's available, playing in theaters. So if you are a Haikyuu fan, or if you are just up for watching 90 minutes of volleyball sports anime style, which is what I did because I've never done a Haikyuu before in my life, but I did go see the movie, it's a good time.
And in case you are new here or didn't get to watch the full episode, we did go more in depth to our thoughts on the film to last week's episode. And yes, as someone who's watched the show, I loved it. It was so nice to be back. I mean, yes, I would like next part of the story, but that's cool. It was having all my boys back, and it was more like the full extended game, and it had that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Had all the feels. But I am happy to hear it is still entertaining. If you don't know, but there will be those references that you'd be like, I think this is something here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There were definitely bits watching this movie of, oh, this is a flashback to something. Oh, this
Yeah.
is something I haven't seen. Okay, so like there would be a ton of emotional depth in this moment if I had met these characters more than 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a doorway into Haikyuu. So if
It
you
is
want to
a
maybe
gateway
like
one.
test whether you think you'll be into it, nothing wrong with getting yourself a large popcorn and a drink and sitting down and watching it in the theaters. It's a good
There
time.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think then that leads us into our
Yes.
not at such a good time. And
Yep.
speaking of trauma,
Speaking of good snacks.
yes,
Yes. Speaking of good snacks, that's our segue.
yes.
I loved
Okay.
this so much. Can we start with the fact that, for one, the Mad Mage's name is Thistle, and for another, he shows up and greets people by gripping their throats? Like,
yes,
damn.
it's a little rough way to. No, it's no, and then we also have it confirmed. No, you can't really talk to him. But of course, we have our golden retriever Laios, who's like, yeah, but I'd like to try. Which I'm like, yes, sir. I applaud the optimism and his genuineness that he's like, I would like to try. Yes, it might be my demise, but we gotta try.
Well, it's also a functionality thing. Like, they need to
Yes.
get Fallon back, and
That
Thistle's
too.
kind of the only guy who can do that.
Yes.
Or they get his book and give it to Marcel and hope that everything works
Hope for the
out.
best.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the revelation that, like, oh yeah, he was brought in as a jester. And then when my great grandpa became king, they asked him to learn magic, and he went down a rabbit hole. And I'm like, so the jester is now the mad mage and is the most powerful person in the. I've got about 4 political jokes here that I think I need to bury because, like, but
it's also the absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
It just can. That was his downfall, which is just
And
like,
again,
that's sad.
he was raised with. Oh, I forgot his name
The
again.
king.
The king.
Well,
He was raised with the king. He watched the king's father get murdered. And so, yeah, between the I couldn't do anything to save that, I need to save him, Delgal. There we go. It's like, I need to save Lord Delgal. I need to help. And then getting all of this power, presumably in isolation. It doesn't seem like he went to magic school like Marcel and Fallon did. It seems like he was just mainlining it.
But he also probably has the same trouble Marcel has too of living longer than everybody, that he's like, no, maybe that might not be quite the driving force, but that does accompany the let's make everybody not die. He just took it a bit further than she ever could or would she want to do. So it's like, yikes.
I think for him, it's specifically this one person. And in order to keep this one person's like, well, he's a king. Obviously, we need to keep the kingdom around as well. So here's the kingdom. And we're going to preserve it. So here's the dungeon. And we're going to, Oh my god, dude. Again,
Bad dominoes.
from the point of view of Thistle, this is a tragedy.
Yeah.
Like, I will continue to come back to this. It is a whole lot of cool motive still murder, but it's also a
Yes.
tragedy.
Yes. Then also strategy. So how do we think everybody in Senshi's party all died, and that's why his major trauma is
absolutely. I
he's
think
the
the
only
Griffin
child who survived.
I think the Griffin murdered them all, and I think
Yes.
that's also where the hole in his helmet came from. Because
Ooh.
we saw a different party member wearing that helmet and it was intact.
Ah,
So,
good
like,
eye. Good
yeah.
eye.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You hand me backstory, and I'm sitting here going, show me.
Well, and the fact that he's essentially been there before it opened, which I do like that Chilchuck and
Before it opened.
Yes.
I just love how you phrase that. That makes me happy. Before it opened. Senshi got the sneak
Before it was
peek.
open to the public, he got a preview session.
He got the press preview. He didn't like it much.
He didn't. He's all 0 stars. Do not recommend.
Yeah, no. But then if he was trapped in there, he would have had to have learned how to do all this cooking, how to survive off of what was in the dungeon, how to farm off the backs of golems,
and why it's no big deal to him to eat the monsters, and also why to maintain the ecosystem. Yep. Itsuki, it's like Itsuki, right? The cat girl. Itsuki. I do love that she's like, you guys have been hanging out all together and you don't know history. Well, we just said no personal details.
I mean,
I'm like, they're both right, you know? I would go with for both fair points.
Parties in this country tend to be more business propositions than anything else. Like, we've really had that hammered home that a lot of it is just business. You may have your family members, you may have your very close friends, but you also round it out with the people that, well, you kind of know and they're fairly trustworthy, and boy, those skills are good. Like, it is a money-making venture.
Yeah. And it's only the present information really matters. Backstory doesn't really matter. And then that is beneficial for people because maybe if you don't want to share, cool, you don't have to. And then they're not going to. And you're all like, all right, we're good.
Yeah. And I mean, Chilchuck especially being like,
backstory, you like his? I have a wife and daughters.
See, that I knew. I actually did know about. That's one of the random spoilers because Tumblr really likes to talk about like Chilchuck's dad energy and how it comes out and how he treats Marcil and Izumi sometimes. So yeah, Chilchuck having daughters is something I knew already, and that's part of what made the birds and the bees conversation so goddamn funny. It's like, no, he's got practical experience with this Senshi. You don't need to. It's fine.
Which we're pretty deep into this, but just in case, no spoilers. We're only covering the episodes that we're covering. If seen things on Tumblr, we share of. Or once we've gotten to it, we'll mention it. But thank you everybody in the chat for not getting ahead. But yes.
Yeah, no, I also liked pointing out I like them pointing out like, oh, and he treats me like a kid. Well, isn't that just a misunderstanding? And the idea that the countries where they don't have a half-foot population, they just don't realize that they're a completely separate species. So that's not that's a misconception that comes from geography and culture. And so the fact that Senshi keeps making it speaks to the fact that he is not from here.
Yes.
And I really do like that.
Together. He's like, wait.
Yeah.
But that is that telling thing with depending on how someone replies to something, you go, ooh, this tells me way more information than you probably intended.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see. Okay.
It's always fun and interesting to get that. And so finally get like the one party member who is super recalcitrant to talk about anything personal, opening up and going, so here's my introduction. Can we maybe hear a little bit about you? And Senshi going, all right, yeah, I was acting pretty weird. Here's why. Pretty sure that Griffin murked his entire party.
Probably.
Just all of them.
I was a tiny bit sad when it died, though. Just a little bit. But not the fact that because it murdered his family. I'm like, oh, another cool creature that, also Laios was so excited about. And it's like, and it's done. Which also, speaking of Laios' excitement, can we talk about the faces he made with Marcel's designs?
I
Oh
love
my,
it so
love that
much.
so much. That is also that kind of is adjacent. It's not the same, but Dr. Stone also has faces like that when people are extremely surprised, disappointed, whatever. I loved it in this so much. And also even Marcel kind of had that face too at different times. But yes, Lyle's like, it's so lame.
It's like we have limited supplies and it's built for
Oh,
functionality. I
yeah,
I did love
shush.
the talk about the different ways to summon. It's like, okay, taking over something that's already here. Well, the Mad
Mm-hmm.
Mage will notice, and that requires setup.
Mm-hmm.
Making regular things into monsters requires just a metric ton of setup. And just making it from scratch, well, that's what we're doing. That seems to me none of these are exactly easy, but it
Yeah.
seems to me that DIY familiars is the easiest way to
Yeah.
go, especially when you know that there's someone else keeping tabs on all of the monsters in the dungeon. Like,
Yes.
you maybe don't want to call a beacon down on yourself like that. Like, ugh.
And they're more for functionality, not form.
Oh yeah, oh
So
yeah.
they don't need to look pretty. But the long silverfish thing, I thought that was so cool, and it made
Oh, I
sense of it
loved
could
it.
fly, and it was or how fast it could fly and everything, and how sad she was when they died. I was like, oh no, but that
And
did
just
look
that
yummy. I
Laios
agree. And
immediately,
then he's like,
yes. Laios immediately being practical and her just like, I
yeah,
was hoping to have another moment to grieve it. Just had the subtitles on. And so getting the conversation from them, like, well, consuming it is another way of mourning it. Yeah, but I was just hoping for more time. So it wasn't really either of them being wrong. It was just the
yeah,
abruptness of the
yeah,
practicality of this is made of
yeah,
food, so we should eat it versus I made that though. It was
yeah,
mine.
yeah.
You know? It's like
And
this
her
this was this
acting it out too. She's like, I gotta fly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Method acting. I love it so much. And
It
also
makes sense
pointing
though.
out that like yeah, the Mad Mage made just a ton of these from the dragon's blood, which I thought was really interesting.
Mhm.
Like, oh, that's the okay, that he just made a metric ton of these and can process all of the information that they bring in all
Mhm.
at once. And again, like he's extremely talented and also
Yep.
super not okay.
Yeah.
Like, are you all right? And the answer is
No.
no, he has blown so far past all right that he's come back around the other side. It's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, buddy, you good?" He is just playing on a very different reality from everyone else, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, that makes it very difficult for everyone else.
I did actually another world building thing that was kind of small, but I just saw it right now, like the landscape and everything. I appreciated that we got to see another transportation sequence using our ghosties and saying don't have too much with you, that it's too much for them to carry and move. That it's like
Yeah,
continue using them as ways to get through the dungeon because damn, it's convenient. Of let's go faster, but it does have a bit of intensity on you, so fair.
there's a price to pay.
Yeah. But how hard it is to get through other parts of the dungeon? Shoot, let's get the fast pass and you just skip through a section.
Straight into the dwarven cistern with the
Yep.
it does make me wonder what all those little dwarven codes were saying.
Yes.
And it
What
makes me wonder if this wasn't something that Senshi's party marked up for
mhm. Well,
directional purposes.
yeah, maybe some kind of indication of maybe even just north, south, east, west, of just which way you're going because the compass wasn't working.
Like I watched Balto a lot growing up, and I just remember Balto marking the trees.
Yeah.
That's that's
Or that
what
too.
came to mind for me. Is like
Yes, you've
here is
come
the
this
path,
way.
here is
Yeah,
the trail.
that too. That's an excellent movie.
Yes, it's very good. It's very good. But yeah, this I just we
It was
got
a very
so
entertaining
much
episode for sure.
backstory and so many
Yeah.
different flavors in this episode, and we got more of the mechanics of the magic and the whole I love Laios like starting to learn magic and then going, "Can I make my own monster?" And Marcel going,
No.
"Get certified first.
Yep. I like
You
that too.
are in the 101 classes, sir. You might be in 102 if you work hard. That is some master's degree noise."
Also, actually, another thing that was small but appreciated how Senshi made food for the villagers too, and
Mhm.
getting that sense back, and how food is like a muscle, eating is like a muscle. I thought that was kind of interesting that, and their doubting of, Are we sure these are the people?
I like that he gave Yod a nice last meal.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Yod's walking away from
No.
that.
No,
I
who are we
truly
talking to?
think
It's like, oh
I
gosh,
don't
oh
think
run.
Yod's walking. Given that there were executions for the people that he thought
Yeah.
might have helped Delgal escape,
Mhm.
yeah, Yod is not walking away from that. That's
No.
I don't I will be very surprised if we see Yod again. Or rather,
Mm.
I will be very surprised if we see Yod again fully intact and in charge of his faculties.
Oh, yes.
I don't think this is gonna go well.
So
Like
on the way to the
he
Flying
made his
Lion.
decisions. He made
Yeah.
his decisions. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sit here and be like, and that was wrong. Like, no, you do what you need to do.
Yep.
But once again, God is in the basement. Better go find him.
Pretty much. I feel that kind of cover. If there's anything else that stood out to any of you watching, leave a comment down below. I feel that covers it. Yeah, it was very. This
Laios
was
making
another
his
good one.
own two-headed fantasy dragon that he named. And then Marcel just
Nope.
amazing. Just amazing. Like he's got a point in terms of animals, monsters, etc.
Ooh,
look
and the
the way they do
scales.
for
Yeah.
functionality.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a very good point, and yeah, you know what the wyverns look like. Let's edit this so it looks more
Yep.
like that and has more aerodynamics. And then he kind of went off the deep end. He had too much. He had too much fun with it. A little over designed, but that's okay.
But are we surprised? No.
No, he's having a good time.
Yes.
Get this man some Play-Doh, and he will make you the best little monster
Oh.
sculptures that you have ever seen.
A little bit, kind of. We made it in Abyss Light here. Yeah, a little bit. Made in Abyss Light. Woo! That's also dungeons and going dark and deep. Damn, and that one's dangerous and super fucked up, but really good.
Yeah, but Made in Abyss like leans on the fucked up from episode 1.
Oh my gosh, yes,
Made in
right away.
Abyss goes right to 11 right
Yes.
away. Dungeon Meshi, it does give you the premise of she did, we need to fix that right away.
Mhm.
But it also gives you about half a dozen episodes before it starts going,
By the way.
also, like,
Yeah.
hey kids, by the way, shit is substantially more fucked than you thought it was,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have a really good time exploring that. Like the world building in Dungeon Meshi is just chef kiss. It's so good. Nothing is wasted. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of wasted energy or not, with our Demon Slayer, I love that our Miss Ashura continues to be like, you would have been dead. You're dead. Energy level. Here. Also his crow.
I hate his crow so much.
Is a biatch.
The word.
I'm like, no.
I do appreciate everyone. Just the immediate clap back for her, like, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Just like, nuh-uh. And Tanjiro's crow, just like, for real.
I love his crow talking back to her too, like, you shut up.
Oh yeah.
So this was added.
The girls are fighting.
This is added a moment later, but I do want to share, referring back to Made in Abyss. Hey, look, worse things than death.
yeah. That's Made in Abyss, all right. That is I know enough about it to know that I will never be able to put it in my eyeballs. I'm just going to put it that way. There is an extensive Mother's Basement video on it. If you're like me and you want to know many things, but you don't want to actually, like, you know, you're not going to be able to handle the subject matter in depth. There's a really good Mother's Basement video on it.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So training and be able to handle things, because damn, I do like how quickly Tanjiro gets through it, and he's like, yeah, no, you're good, you can move on. And the rest of the students going, can we do that too? He's like,
be like,
no. You guys are so
he's my favorite. We talked about this last season. He's my favorite now. He's Tokito is my favorite now. He's just like the boy, my boy. And then he turns around and just that big smile. I'm like, oh, buddy. He needs a hug. He deserves a hug. He doesn't necessarily need one, but he deserves one.
Oh, and Tanjiro going, oh, he was worse before.
Well, yeah, Tanjiro got the full brunt of amnesiac, angry.
Going, oh, it was worse.
Everyone going, what do you mean it was worse? Oh my God, why? I just want to say I am really enjoying our Demon Slayer core NPCs this season. Like,
Yes.
I'm enjoying that we
Mhm.
don't necessarily have to name them. They
Yeah.
have unique enough character designs without
Yes.
going into the full shonen protagonist character
Yes.
design. But I love that they all have personality. Even if we just get little bits that there's differences in their delivery, in their word choice and how
Yeah.
they react.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that sort of, oh yeah, no, these are all people. They're not just
Mhm.
faceless NPCs that we needed to fill out the scene because let's be real, functionally they are, but it would go the extra step to be like, no, these are all people. They are all
Yeah.
also worthy of your consideration, even if they are not our main characters in the
Yeah.
story.
Speaking of main characters, like this comment from Giga Derek, imagine Tokito as the teal-haired soft boy protagonist.
He's got too much edge. It's not the right combination. Like I feel you, but it's not the right combination.
Yeah, because when he
It's
goes to
not.
the other Hashira training, he is smiles,
Oh
but he's
yeah.
like, "You guys kind of suck." I need to get stronger, and I like how much he surprised the other two. Like, all right,
Oh
we're
yeah.
both gonna take you on. Oh shit!
It's like, oh wait, he's a prodigy for a
Yes.
fucking reason.
Yep.
Just, oh yeah, this guy, and he's just smiling the whole time. It's like, oh, two on
Yes.
one? That's so unfair.
He's like, we can
Going
do
in for
this.
it's like, no, I love him. It's like he's a sweet soft boy who it's one of those looks like a cinnamon roll could kill you.
Yes.
That's what he is. Tanjiro
Uh,
is looks like a cinnamon roll is a cinnamon roll, but he is
so
looks like a cinnamon roll could kill you. Like, yeah, no, that's him. There's too much could kill you for a teal coated soft boy shonen protagonist. Uh,
Oh, yeah, here we go. Rab says, Sandro, sweet boy, that he's just false to assuming that everyone he meets is trying their best and should be the first to be
it should be heard
heard
out
out. Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So a random thing of crossing between like shows and everything. Our voice of the Miss Hashira is the voice is the because you just watched Haikyuu, and it's okay if you don't remember the names. The tall, short, blonde hair with glasses that wears like the special goggles that's on our our
Okay.
Origin Black team. Same voice.
Okay.
And in Kaiju number 8, if anybody's watching that, he is also that instructor. So he also is an instructor on that. So that's kind of funny. I'm like, I love this guy's voice. He has such a good, interesting kind of sound to his like tonal quality to it. And he gets to play instructional and very disinterested people, but you still kind of really love them. And you're
Yeah.
like, can you tell me more? Tell me more about who you are and your interests. But speaking of interest, what do we think of airplanes? I want to know
I
if
know.
that was a weird translation because I had a moment, I heard it, I went, oh cool. Wait, how do they know what an airplane is?
I think that might have been
I think it's a
it's
regional translation thing.
it might be a regional translation. It might also be that yeah, that's what they were actually called, but that is something where the paper airplane may have predated the airplane, but they called it something else
Hmm.
back then, and it's something where possibly the mangaka, possibly the localizers, who knows, just kind of went, okay, but they're paper airplanes that like this is what the audience is going to know them as. If there's a traditional term, it's going to get lost.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose decision it was to call them paper airplanes, but I fully understand why they would do it. And if paper airplanes are anachronistic, so are demons. So like who
Yeah, and
fucking
it's
cares?
one of those, it wasn't, yes, it was more just like a real world thing and not thinking about it at all the first moment they said it and then went, wait, how do they know what that word is?
Oh, I pegged on that like when he made a paper airplane the first time, and I was like,
Well, I was like,
interesting,
they
cool.
could make them and maybe they call them gliders, air gliders. Like even
Yeah.
glide makes sense, but it was cute and I did like that was Tokito's like hobby. And then of course Tanjiro in being positively infectious in a
Yeah.
positive way for everybody of like, let's all do something and boost morale. And like the competition was so cute and precious and
And
gain
also,
personality.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, and there's getting more personality of our character, and also our swordsmith being there as well. Of like, ooh,
Yep.
hobbies? Hold on, let me think about it.
It's like, oh no, I like this. Like, going, so you've been here for a hot minute. Tell me more about it. Like,
Yes.
what other information can I use? Like,
Yep.
Tanjiro is smart, and I appreciate that about him. But yeah, I love Tanjiro and his like competitions that don't truly matter. Like they matter, but they don't
Yeah.
matter. With the
Yeah.
soba eating competition to try to get Giyu back into the Hashira training and back into
Mhm.
like to try to pull him out of his imposter syndrome
Mhm.
slump, as it were.
Mhm.
Didn't really have one previously, but also didn't really need one. And then this one going, okay, I can't beat you in swordsmanship, but let's do a fun thing, you and me.
Mhm.
Let's do a fun thing where I might actually have a chance. And then
Yeah.
maybe you will speak a little more nicely to the people under your care.
Yeah.
Because it's not that Tokito doesn't care. He's very, very clear about I want you all to live. I want you all to live long, happy lives. It's not, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna beat this into you. It's no, I want you to survive. And these are the tools you'll need.
Mhm.
But it needs to be form as much as function. And
Oh yeah,
he's
and
excellent at
he
the function and not great at the form.
yeah, and he's not wrong of being that serious of it. Is this
Oh
serious?
yeah. Huh.
But again, similar to our last instructor, there is that fine line of getting people the real message versus and inspiring them, or they'll just feel defeated the more they feel like
Demoralizing them.
failures. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So the
so
paper
oh,
airplane bit
okay.
also opened it up to everyone
Someone just said
else.
this takes place in the 1920s. Okay.
That's fair.
Okay, then that's fair. So we could,
Yeah, there were planes before then.
yeah. All right. Fair. Good
Yeah.
point.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Also, Rab says other people positively infectious. Tanjiro infectiously positive. Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Also,
he is good boy.
I'm kind of curious on this too. No spoilers, but semi interested here. Of Charles says loving the anime original content we're getting this arc.
I did see an article saying that like the big showpiece fight last arc was an anime
Ah,
original,
okay.
which wouldn't surprise me. And again, it does a
Sure.
lot for the characters of the Hashira, the
Yep.
character of Tanjiro, does a lot for again our
Yeah.
NPCs who aren't as faceless as they could be. And I did love that. Again, it's a little contest, doesn't really matter all that much, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it also brings everyone else into it. And if the request was, hey, maybe speak to them a little more, slightly softer edges when you're talking to them, we got that with
Yep.
Dokito talking to some of these other trainees and saying, hey, can I see your airplane? Do you mind if I take a look at that? As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just, let me look it over. It's just,
And
hey,
a
do
way
you
to
mind if
connect.
hey, can we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like everyone's look different. We had a group bonding activity. And
Yes.
honestly, that really helps, especially when everything else you're dealing with is life and death training day in and day out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's high stakes. Yes, you need to know this. Yes, we can all see that this is the calm before the storm. Like, there is no question of, do you want to be here? There is no question of, does this need to happen? Is there urgency? Like,
Yep.
everyone here knows the stakes and knows what's up. Just because they're not up to the level of the Hashira doesn't mean they're not trying. So I appreciate
Mm-hmm.
that aside from Zenitsu, who will forever be Zenitsu, and I'm sure we'll run back into him eventually,
Mm-hmm.
that everyone else is like, no, we signed up for this. We're in it to win it.
Yes.
We're doing everything we can. And
Yeah.
they got past the stamina training. Like these guys did beat step 1.
Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of being there, oh my gosh, that eyeball stuff. Like we saw the one or two, and then when it rounded the corner, I was thinking at first I saw the 2. Okay, so they have 2 eyeballs. Where are the other? Like, are they no? They've taken the 2. Oh no, there's. And then it's that's the way they're seeing everything and being able to spy on. I get it. I
They're
get it.
looking for Nezuko.
But,
they are looking for Nezuko. And I love Tanjiro making the point of, if I took her with me, it'd be playing right into his hands.
Yep.
So I don't like that we're separate, but I trust who I left her with. And I'm like, it's the guy.
Yes. Which I really think he will. We might not see it at all, but I'm like, please, she's doing some training too, because that girl needs some training as well. She has some raw power, and she is with the right person who would train her. but we're probably not going to see that. But it is that thing that I'm like, are we training her too? Because she is a useful addition to the team. Come on, shonen anime. Like,
I am just praying that we don't damsel her. Like, that is my concern, because now we're at the point, like, at some point I would not be surprised, and we're in predictions territory here. Please, no spoilers. We haven't read the manga, etc. I would not be surprised if Muzan does get his hands on her, if at some point we do have okay, she gets captured and we need to go after her. Just because, generally speaking, when you have we're trying to keep this character away from the other character because it's high stakes, that tends to happen at some point down the line. It ratchets up the drama, it raises the stakes, it shortens the timeline, and then you really got to get going. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but there's characters getting damseled and not being able to do a damn thing about it, and there's characters getting kidnapped and making it everyone's problem. Specifically their kidnapper's problem.
Yes.
And I am sincerely hoping
that. Yes.
I'm sincerely hoping that if/when, and I'm betting on when, Nezuko does get taken, I really want her to be everyone's, and when I say everyone's problem, I mean the villain's problem.
Yes.
I don't mean our protagonist's problem. That's not what I mean. I want her to be fully, I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me. I want that so bad. She doesn't have to win everything, but I want her to be able to do something. That bar is low, kids. It's not quite on the floor, but it's still tripping height. So,
I was looking over the chat.
Please don't spoil us. Don't tell me either way.
No spoilers like that. We will tell you specifically if we got questions, which you all are doing a fantastic job. There goes. Speaking of the storm, I hate the eyes from the shamisen woman. Yes, it was so gross and weird. That body horror kind of like.
And that also means, oh my god. For one, excellent use of the CG, that and the bees. Like, that's the sort of thing you save the CG for, so you don't have to animate all of those eyes by hand.
Gigadare goes, the first episode was titled Cruelty. I've been ready for crap to hit the fans ever since. True dat.
You say that like it hasn't been consistently doing that.
Yeah.
Someone clean the fucking fan.
Charles Darcy points out the conversations with the Hashira this arc are all original. Same with the paper plane stuff, all anime original. The Tengen training was only 1 page in the manga, and the Muichiro training was only 2 pages in the manga. So about 90% of these past 2 episodes have been anime original stuff. Very cool.
So they really are drawing out, because it's like a 7 or 9 chapter arc.
Well,
and I remember there being concern about how are they going to. So I appreciate that instead of
they add,
Oh my god, yes. I appreciate that instead of just blowing through all of our Hashira, it's like, no, we remember him. We like this guy. Let's spend some time. We remember him. We like this guy. Let's spend some time. And I love that they do that, because again, it makes the character moments that much better. And when we start getting to the point where everyone's lives are going to be on the line, it's going to make the heartbreak that much worse. I'm not expecting many survivors. I'm hoping we get a happy ending, but I'm not expecting many survivors, especially among our Hashira. It's like, oh, that boy is my favorite. That doesn't mean I think he's going to make it out of it. I don't know, man. I don't know. They killed Rengoku in the 2nd season, and everything has just been like, since then.
So I think this is, thank you, Charles, for sharing that in the chat, because I read a little bit of the early bits of the manga, and I really appreciate how the anime really kind of breathes life into what's in the manga and lets it breathe, because the manga is a bit straightforward. It's an excellent manga, but it is a bit more clean cut of like next. And the anime is like, hey, here's that extended bit. Here's more of what that fight, which that's the beauty of what we get with animation. So I'm here for it. Looking back over the chat, Rab says, looking forward to Nezuko's Asuna SAO. I'm going to go with Alicization. Because I was like,
no, that's abridged.
Abridged season 2 arc. Because I was like, well, there's Alicization, and she's pretty cool in that.
Yeah, I had a moment of, no, SAO2 is bad, and then, no, Asuna's arc in SAO2 abridged is something else. She's again, there's not a lot that she can do, but she does what she can. If you have not watched Sword Art Online abridged, do it. Just put it in your eyeballs and understand how it has weaseled its way into my sense of humor.
Anything
That's my
else?
recommendation.
Oh, random tiny thing too. I like how Tanjiro's gi, his outfit is like a warm tone black versus all the cool tone blacks, because it's black, but it's a different shade of black than theirs, and I kind of like that it stands out that way. Like it's a very subtle.
I think that
his has
also
been
works
through the
with,
wash
like,
a few more times.
but I mean, I think that also works with how they do his hair. Like, I know he's got
Oh,
like dark brown hair, but it's mostly black with the highlights. So
yeah,
I think if they did the different tones, it would look weird.
true, but it could have been like just cool tones versus it's
Yeah.
appreciated of distinguishing him from the background, but it's still like the same black uniform. So
Yeah.
it also just makes me think of washing your black clothes too many times and it just fades.
You get the blood stains out.
It's soft boy black. Yes.
Our soft boy, soft black. Yes.
Yes.
Our stinger, though, where he's back with our love Hashira, and she's just telling him about like butter and pancakes, and he's like, "I was raised in the country. I don't know what these are." I'm like, oh my god, bruh, you are gonna have such a good time.
Yes. It was making me also so hungry watching that, and I'm like, I'm so happy.
Oh yeah. Oh
because
my
theirs
god.
is also the most explosive energies combined of so happy and positive, and like the two of them together is the peas in a pod energy, and I'm so happy to watch that.
And I mean, she is our more traditional shonen protagonist, as it were. That's her energy, that's her archetype. I honestly love it. And he's our, again, teal-coated soft boy sort of shonen protagonist, which I love, but it's still shonen protagonist energy. So I love it. I love that they're about to just go off and it's going to be great. And I love that while she's got the shonen protagonist appetite, we're also showing like, oh, she raises bees. Oh, she cooks. Oh, she does this. So it's not just like the food coming from nowhere. It's, yeah, she's got the shonen protagonist appetite. And here's the legwork that goes into it, which she also does herself. Which, again, honestly, I love it.
Yes. Seeing well-rounded characters of they have hobbies and other interests.
Yeah. It's like, oh, she likes honey, so she raises bees so she can have all the honey she wants. Excellent.
Yep.
And raising bees is not easy. They can be surprisingly delicate sometimes. So the fact that she's got that many successful beehives, go girl, get it. Yes. I just want to see Tanjiro having pancakes for the first time.
You think the Hashira have side jobs? I don't think they have time for them.
No.
But I feel that'd be the funny, alternate dimension one of what would their side jobs be if they didn't risk their lives every day.
I feel like this is the thing that brings you joy.
Yeah.
It's not a side job or a side hustle. It is a hobby. It is that one little thing you do. Like,
yeah,
they're obviously very well taken care of in terms of their living spaces, but it's also like, this is the thing you do.
What do you do
that makes you happy?
Yeah.
Do you like fashion? Do you like raising bees? Do you like paper planes? Do you like, what is the thing you do that brings you joy in your extremely stressful life on the line day-to-day life? Yeah. Like, what is that thing that lets your brain wind down a little bit so you don't snap?
Yeah. All right. And if you have other thoughts on the episode, leave comments down below. It is moving along. It is so exciting. And I want to see more because it's just fun. Yes. I see you ready.
Yes. I will be. For one, I can't wait till we catch up to the rest of our named characters. I can't wait till we catch up to Inosuke and Zenitsu. And what the heck was our guy's name that we got last season? Our Win Hashira's younger brother.
Our Gun Hashira.
Yes. Our gun-breathing guy.
Yes.
We love him. I cannot. Chat, please help me. I can't remember his name. My brain's like, it starts with a G. And I'm like, does it? Genma. Yes. Thank you.
And Rat says, Gun Hashira over here pressing brass.
Like, I cannot wait until we run into Genma again. I don't know if he's healed enough to be part of the training, but he is in the opening, so shrug. Yeah. I cannot wait for Zenitsu and Inosuke. I'm wondering what tiers they wound up at. And I will be very, very interested to see the tonal shift when we get past the Hashira that Tanjiro has bonded with versus the Hashira that are indifferent versus the Hashira that do not fucking like him.
Yes.
Like, if we remember back to, again, it's been forever since we
Oh,
watched the first season,
Giga
but
says
Arwen
yeah, he's mentioned
Hashira
the title.
didn't like him
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. And the other two, when they got together, when our Miss Hashira is like, oh yeah, he gets to come to you guys next, like soon.
Yeah.
And they're like, mm-hmm.
Because the snake one's
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll be able to test him fully.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm like, remember, like at the beginning, the Hashira were 50-50 on whether to keep him around.
To kill
Rengoku
him.
was one of the ones who was like, nah.
Yeah.
And the Win one stabbed the box with Nezuko in it.
Yeah.
So like, hey guys, he's gonna be a problem. And I'm sitting here going, you have the same tragic backstory. Calm down.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right.
Just really excited to see just the fucking tonal whiplash when he gets there.
Yes, I feel the Love Hashira is probably gonna be short, and then we'll move on. Similar to this one, where it was like
one episode,
one into the next. Like she'll be the one, and then into the next. Like the end will be at the next one.
And I mean, we know just fuck all about our Stone Hashira. We had episode 1, and he's outie.
Yeah,
and I'm also waiting for Giyu to come back because he said he would.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, have you gotten your shit together, sir? Are you back now? And we have to go back to our butterfly Hashira and our doctor, and that I'm going to tell you about the demon who killed my sister and how to kill it. And like, I thought we were going back to this next episode.
So what happened? Paused. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you have the same backstory as me. I hate me.
Thank you, very big fun. Abridged Vegeta. Is that me stronger than me? I'll kill me energy. Just you watch a lot of abridged series. Yes, they're very good.
Hey,
so yeah,
a lot of stuff. That's true.
Yeah, for an arc that had very, very little time in the manga, they've certainly given us enough to chew on in the anime, and I'm very excited.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to more. It's one of those. Yeah. This is a show that sucked me for. Like I just want the next one and watch them in a row, but it's okay.
Like we marathoned the first season when we watched it, and then Mugen Train. We marathoned the first one. People I watched it with. Marathon the first season just in time to catch Mugen Train before it went out of theaters.
Yeah.
So like basically got the first 2 seasons in my eyeballs all at the same time. So the wait has been something else.
And
I will say the wait is good. Please give your animators enough time to do things like go home and sleep and have meals and lives outside of their jobs. We fully support animators getting to have things like work-life balance and good mental health. So, as much as I sit here and go, where's the rest of it? I want to put it in my eyeballs immediately. Where's the next season? That is I enjoy the content and I want more. More important is people deserve to like eat and sleep and have lives. That's always going to put the humanity first before the fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So then other stuff you should check out are books, movies, games, whatever we've been watching that we want you to check out, where we'd recommend or we tell you to stay away.
On occasion.
On occasion. I have a mix of all the above. So I watched The Bricklayer. It was okay. It was very womp womp. It's on Netflix, and it's Aaron Eckhart, which I like him. He's cool as action. Okay.
I'm laughing and trying not to cut you off.
No, go ahead. What?
No. I was just laughing at the description, but I wanted you to be able to continue.
Yes. Okay. So and then of course I will be that reviewer that if I ever tell you I don't like something, I have very specific reasons. I'm not going to give it. I didn't like it. So the things are the main problem is just the overall story and why we care about people just really was kind of lacking. The fight scenes had cool choreography, but the camera just felt so close that you didn't really get to see anything.
Ugh, the worst.
Or there were, and you're like, Or it's that thing where there was really kind of awkward, like it's one tiny scene, but how they shot it was so awkward of like, I'm just going to sit and I'm talking like this, and this is pretending like I'm talking to the character. But this is not a Wes Anderson film, so why are we doing this awkward, like, So things like that, and you just were like, I want to like it more, but I got through it. But anyway, so if you saw it and you liked it, yay.
Cool.
And yeah, definitely not yucking on anyone's yum if you enjoyed a film or whatever, and it's what we didn't care for, totally fine. But that was one that I felt was like, anyways. So that was a womp womp. Another one where I felt it was pseudo in the end. I'm all that. It was more of a fun journey than it was the end. So I watched the Hiramundi series. So that's an Indian show, and so it's in Hindi, and it's gorgeous, beautifully stunning. Every shot looks like a work of art. The background, the costumes, the like everything that you're looking at, gorgeous. Plot and the historical fiction, also pretty interesting. But just the way it kind of wraps up the end, you're like, so we're done. That was the last scene. That was the
It
last
ends like
episode.
classic movies tend to end, where they just stop.
Almost like it has a little bit of a button, and you're like, oh. So I felt a little underwhelmed with how it ended. I appreciated the journey, and visually it was, a feast for the eyes, but I felt how it wrapped up was a little on the lacking.
You wanted another 10 minutes.
Maybe
another episode.
I don't know. It was just felt kind of a little flat. The other one, semi spoiler warning, but I feel some people would be good to know. So I saw If in theaters, which was cute. Principle of it is cute. There's some really sad, like dying of things in it, and I did not know. And my friend invited me.
Oh no!
And it was three of us, and two of us have had deaths in the family, and the other person was like, "Fuck." I invited you guys to the wrong movie. So yes, I definitely different parts. Concept, really funny, cute. Do you need to see it in theaters? No, not necessarily. At home, great. But yeah, if you've had any kind of like people dying of stuff, maybe don't watch it right away, because that is a big part of it. And they do not tell you that in the trailer, but I feel if this is a problem for you or a trigger warning, it's good to know, because you're like,
so this is the sort of thing where you need to go to doesthedogdie.com and see what the warnings are for. It kind of felt
can we get we need to know if like people are dying. You're like, oh gosh.
I mean, Does the Dog Die doesn't just deal with dog or animal death.
Yeah.
It kind of does the full gamut of
other traumas.
These are the topics that might be upsetting or triggering to people, and it is addressed in this movie in such a manner. Like, it doesn't go full plot spoilers or anything, but it will tell you, like, at this time this happens, or this movie has themes of X. Like, yeah, so doesthedogdie.com is a very good resource for things like this.
For this. I'm kind of curious what they say. But then in the end, yes, things I'm loving. Kaiju number 8 is so good. If you're not watching that show, go check it out. Also, I don't think I was quite in the level like, oh my gosh, I loved it, but I did really enjoy Godzilla -1, because that's now on Netflix. So not sponsored, but hey, Netflix, if you want to reach out. But yeah, Godzilla -1, missed that in theaters. It's now on Netflix. It's a cool Godzilla movie if you're wanting some Godzilla stuff, and definitely more a lot about the people and dealing with tragedy and rising up. Yes,
more in the vein of OG Godzilla than Godzilla versus Kong, shall we say?
Yes,
this is not a monster v monster movie. This is a horrors of nuclear war movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a mixed bag of stuff this week.
I guess. Man.
Anyways, what about you?
Yeah, I let's be real, I mostly watch the same YouTube channels day in and day out, because life is exhausting sometimes. Yes, we are still watching Go Go Loser Ranger. Booting it up on Hulu, because we don't have the Disney Plus Hulu bundle, so we have to watch it on Hulu with ads. And getting the TVMA rating for the first time this series is like, is it because of the content, finally? Or is it because someone or enough people went, oh, this looks kind of Power Rangers-y, and let their kid watch it when they really, really shouldn't have? And I'm going to say, not knowing the answer, I'm going to say equally likely 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, given what happened in this week's episode. I make jokes about God's in the basement and it's a problem for everyone. Yeah, that's this show too. Except God is very different. I love this show so much. It really is kind of messed up. It really is Power Rangers does the boys.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. If you're not good with gore or upsetting content, you're going to want to skip this one. But
Mhm.
if you don't mind getting a little messed up sometimes in order to see some really, really good shit, I really do recommend this one. Just, you know, if gore, if anything like that is a problem, be gentle with yourself and do not be afraid to hop out if it gets to be overwhelming. Like, I fully understand and support this, so just, take care of you. Um, like I was saying, I watch a lot of abridged series, which are on YouTube and are generally speaking pretty goddamn funny at this point. So, Sword Art Online Abridged, highly recommend. I would say one of the best out there. And unlike some other abridged series, you don't need to know anything about SAO to watch it. It's enjoyable if you are clueless, and it is enjoyable if you like SAO, and it's enjoyable if you don't like SAO. And I am in the latter camp at this point. I got a little too much SAO at one point, and it just kind of I'm not I have problems with it. So for those of you unfamiliar with the concept of an abridged series, it's someone taking a series, recutting it, redubbing it, and oftentimes putting their own story or their own take on the story in it. They are generally comedic. The SAO abridged one is so tightly done and has such excellent character development, it has straight up made
Oh.
me cry in ways and places that original flavor SAO really did not.
Hmm.
So yeah, SAO. If you've heard me make the "Steven, is that you?" Steven joke, that is SAO abridged. It is all on YouTube. It's not done yet. They are most of the way through the Elfheim arc at this point, and their take on Elfheim has been much more enjoyable than the canon take for so many reasons. So, yeah, highly recommend. Very fun. Just A+ work. Excellent stuff.
Looking at the chat, we got some other recommendations. John Knight says, finally finished watching Reign of the Seven Spellblade dub in a day, and it's a very good show, and I enjoyed it. Nice. Now go back and you can watch what we were saying.
Yeah, you can watch all our coverage of it. Yeah, what a weird show.
Yes.
Like, I'm looking forward to season 2, but what a weird show.
Giga Derek says, I'd also like to recommend
Tsukimichi.
Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. If you like isekai, shit gods, and talking shit to those gods, I think you'll have fun. Nice.
That's fair.
Rab Adler says Mr. Villain's Day Off. And referring back to more SAO, Giga Derek says SAO Bridge
no,
has
God. Nope.
And then Rab Adler says abridged anime is basically ghost stories English dub as a genre.
Yeah.
Hey now. Okay.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very funny. Okay. And again, there are some abridged series that are just straight up and down comedy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged was one of the first, and I don't think we would have a lot of what we have in terms of abridged series without it. I think a lot of shows are standing on the shoulders of that particular giant, as well as Dragon Ball Z abridged. Again, that one is a slow start, and then once it really picks up, again, it's amazing. So yeah, that Bleach abridged is also very good. And there's, oh my God, Unlimited Spellworks abridged, I believe. It's a Fate Stay Night. Yep. You do have to be canon familiar to truly understand what the hell is going on in that one. I'm not canon familiar. I do watch it, and occasionally I just let it wash over me because I'm not going to pretend. So
yes,
yeah, if
Blade
you are,
oh, that was a good one.
You've seen Unlimited Blade Works?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send you the abridged series. I think you'd like it.
All right.
It's a wild one, but it's also like, no, you actually do kind of need to understand this. Whereas DBZ, SAO, like there is no barrier to admission for these abridged series. You can just hop in and roll.
Sweet.
But yeah, highly, highly recommend SAO abridged. I do think it's one of the best, and I maintain that.
Oh. Team says Rab Adler says Team 4-Star made me happy to go back to Namek for 5 more minutes, and then
long going DBZ joke about Namek is going to explode in 5 minutes, and then it takes like 10 episodes. Yeah. Filler.
Giga Derek says I had the good fortune to meet little
Little Karibo. Yeah.
Karibo a few times, and he's such a swell dude. Nice.
Yeah, he does Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and yeah, I've also had the chance to meet him, and he is just a lovely human being.
Nice. It's always good, like when you hear positive stories on people like that.
Oh yeah, no, he and his spouse are just excellent people.
Sweet. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you joined us live in live chat, awesome. If you're watching later, sweet. Comment down below on the different stuff we talked about. And Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on Silver Screams. It is a horror YouTube channel that I do with my roommate. So if you really like those reaction videos where people just jump out of their skin, that's me. She laughs and I'm over here going, ah! It's we have fun. We have fun.
And
yeah, like that. Like that.
That's my co-host. That's my other co-host. My co-host as in my space.
Yes. Yes. No, I've been demoted.
Who's here on who's what is it on site? No, yeah, like
on site talent.
Yeah. Here's my other on site. Yeah. Anyways, that's Fizz. Yes, you all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And there's lots of fun photos of my dog on social media that I share as well. Nothing just yet, but stay tuned here on Fanversation and the Fanversation social media channels, as there'll be cool events coming up soon that we'll share with you, as well as voice actor interviews that will be coming up. And make sure you're following here on the Fanversation YouTube channel and hit subscribe and notification bells, because we're this close to locking down some guests coming up real soon. So I'm not going to say just yet, but stay tuned. 2 of them are involved with Demon Slayer. I'll say that. And then somebody hopefully locking that down for Connected with Comic-Con. So that's also coming up in the future. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you again for tuning in and being with us here. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Happy Pride.
Yes.